Marvel Rivals saved these heroes, guys. And I was there when they were horrible. I was there. In fact, I played them. I did. I played these heroes, bro. Thing and Thor are two heroes that were absolutely saved by Jeong and his team. Because yes, guys, let's say it. Everybody's hating. Oh, fire Jeong, the balance team, blah blah blah. I'm a diamond player and Hawkeye needs a nerf. I'm a GM player and I only play poke slop and I only shoot down the choke, and that's meta in my GM brain. But in all seriousness, guys, Thing and Thor are two heroes that were absolutely saved. Starting with Thing, guys, he's a hero. He dropped in season... I wasn't there because I started playing in season 2, but he dropped in season 1. You know what? I don't even remember, so let me go Google it. So Dingaling released in season 1.5 alongside Human Torch, and the hero was decent at the time. He was really good because, well, there was like 3 things in the game back then. No, but he was really good because he had a lot. He was really tanky. He had a lot of damage reduction. Before season 2, there was also even a little bit, just a little bit of a triple tank meta going that was really efficient, like Strange, Thing. That was actually really good because back in the day, like Thing, he didn't have his F where he could leap to enemies. He didn't have percent damage either, but his damage reduction was insane. It used to give 30% to himself and the teammate he jumped to. It didn't affect an area like it does now, and he did solid damage and he had a good ult. Then season 2 came along, Emma Frost hard countered the entire tank roster. 2.5 flyer meta, and then it really just was not looking good for the Big Ben until season 3.0, where he had a bit of a resurgence when he got his new ability, Battle Blitz, where he could leap to enemies. I'm pretty sure I still have the reaction to that change on my channel. It's the very first video I have out. If you go and look at my videos, that's from such a while back. Oh my goodness, season 3. And yeah, so he got his ability where he would jump to enemies and give only himself damage reduction. And yeah, so he was kind of decent at the start of season 3, but then he really quickly fell off again because, well, he's kind of just power crept. In season 2.0, in the 2.0 patch, his DR actually got nerfed to 25% instead of 30. Not only that, but yeah, he just suffered a lot. Emma was still really meta. And yeah, he would whip out the Thing whenever there was a Black Panther, because in season 3 and 3.5, Black Panther was legit played every game. Like, he was legit played every game in season 3, I remember. Every game there was a Black Panther. So you could still whip out the Thing, but otherwise it was pretty bad. He was just okay. And then he didn't get touched for multiple seasons, until season 5.0, where they dropped his rework, they probably worked on that rework for a while, which is why he had no changes for so long, but they dropped his rework, and his rework made it so that his right click now does percent damage, and his E and F, like his leap abilities, the damage reduction affects an area, and also his F Battle Blitz, instead of only giving himself damage reduction when he leaps to enemies, it now affects enemies with vulnerability, 20% vulnerability, and allies. And the Thing himself, 20% DR, so yes, the DR took another 5%. Another 5% was chipped off the DR, but now affects an AoE of teammates, which is really good. And in 5.0, the Thing, the rework dropped, and he was pretty bad. The rework, like, again, he did percent damage, but not enough to warrant playing him over any other tank. His lack of damage against squishies was really felt, and he felt squishy, he felt weak. He wasn't good at all. Until the patch that officially made him legit broken came out. So right after season 5.5, Jeong and his team saw, okay, this hero's been kind of garbage for like 5 seasons in a row. Jeong, we gotta do something. And then Jeong was like, alright, I hear you. No more of this, we gotta be careful. No more of this, we gotta make the hero balance. Jeong said, fuck you guys. He made it so that the Thing shift now leaves Earthbound, so like the status effect where you can't use mobility abilities, which is legit half the abilities in the game, by the way. He made it so that lasts for 5 seconds now on his shift, when his shift is already a 10-second cooldown, so by the time the Earthbound's over, it's only 5 seconds until the next one, so that's kind of crazy. And he also made it so that the right-click punch does 10% of enemies max health instead of only 8. So this guy over one patch, overnight became like one of the worst tanks, the best tank, like top 3 tanks. In Season 5.5, Tank Deadpool wasn't out, it was legit Groot and Thing. Like, they were the best tanks. I don't think there were any other tanks. I'm trying to remember. In 5.5, there was Angela. Angela was really good as well. It was legit Groot, Thing, Angela. Like, they were so broken, like, so broken. Thing was insane. Like, what tank, the only tank as of Season 5.5 that Thing did not beat in the front line was Groot. He would beat up Strange in the front line, he would beat Mag, he would beat Thor, he would beat, well, Angela, obviously. He legit beat every single tank. He would beat Emma, because Emma was, it wasn't 5.5 that she got her HP nerf, but Emma was horrible anyway in 5.5. He beats Emma. He beats everybody except Groot, because Groot can wall his ass off and, yeah, catch him off guard. So, and on top of that, obviously his shift giving Earthbound for so long made him insane against dive, like insane. Insane. The character's insane. Plus he can apply vulnerability, so really good and coordinated play, because if you have a Phoenix on your team and you guys are support trading, you can go and comp to your Phoenix who's ulting, yeah, I'm gonna purple the whole enemy team, and then you purple, Phoenix hits, kills the whole team. Insane. So yeah, Thing was done justice, and as of right now, as of season, right now I'm like past midnight for the 1st of March 2026. Thing is still super strong, still S tier in my opinion. Like right now the best tanks in the game are what? Tank Deadpool's the best tank. Groot was like really good in season 6.0. I feel like he kind of fell off just a bit, but he's still really good. Thor and Thing, they're like easily the best tanks right now. Maybe runner-up Strange. Strange Angela as well could be good, but yeah. So Thing was done absolutely justice. Only took like 5 seasons of him being piss garbage for him to get buffed and actually become good. But then again, like, I gotta give some credits to Jeong and his team. They cooked with the Thing. He's really good. I don't think he needs any more buffs. He's fun. As a Thing player, honestly, I'm happy the character was done justice in the game right now. He was done justice. That hero was done justice. And as for the second hero, guys, Thor. Thor went from being like a horrible hero to being one of the best tanks in the entire game. It is crazy how that character got done justice over the years. And I remember every single patch, every single micro change, because I was there. So I'm not gonna lie, all of it kind of started in season 2.5, because back then it was old Thor, and basically the main difference between old Thor and current Thor is that old Thor, hammer throw was part of the Thor Force, GCD. The GCD means global cooldown, okay? So basically, since each and every one of Thor's abilities were on a global cooldown except Lightning Realm, you basically had 3 choices. You either use Storm Surge when you were fighting, you either use Storm Surge to displace, Hammer Throw for raw damage, or Awakening Rune for the damage burst. But his kit was absolutely terrible because Awakening Rune couldn't be cancelled, and there was no point in using Awakening Rune, except for poke, when you could just use Hammer Throw if you were brawling to get 100 overshield instantly. Like, yeah, Awakening Rune used 200, but the overshield ran out quicker than you got it back. So Hammer Throw was actually the best meta way to play Thor. You would just hold M1 and spam Hammer Throw. Storm Surge was decent if you wanted to displace, but it did way less damage than Hammer Throw, so you would just spam Hammer Throw. So basically, what I mean is that the kit was horrible, because the meta way to play Thor was just to spam Hammer Throw point blank. Awakening Rune was kind of obsolete, and Storm Surge was just a mobility ability. That was best legit only used for mobility. But when you have a mobility skill that's on a global cooldown with all your other cooldowns, that's kind of a problem, because then you can't dash and then Hammer Throw and then away. It was horrible. Ult Thor was terrible. Not only that, but the ult was also horrible because it wasn't buffed. And yeah, so all this character had that was better than current Thor is that per Thor Force, he got more shield. He would get 100 over shield per Thor Force used, up to a maximum of 800. Right now, the Thor Force max is 150. And it used to be, and when the Hammer Thor rework happened, it was 75 for Surge and 150 for Awakening. Awakening always gives you the max Thor Force, and Surge would give you half of that. Okay? So yeah. So back then it was 100 for Hammer Throw or Storm Surge and 200 for Awakening. So all he had was that he had a bit more sustain technically. But even then it was horrible, because you think, oh, he had more survivability, but no, because he couldn't cancel Awakening and all that. So he was just a horrible hero that was super gimmicky, super jank, had absolutely, you have a melee brawl bruiser type hero with absolutely zero combo potential, a horrible ultimate, and yeah, just a super jank moveset that is absolutely terrible. But he got micro buffs, you know, before season 2.5 he did get micro buffs. He got a movement speed buff. Alright guys, so this is editing, this is me when I'm editing. I completely forgot to mention that Thor's ultimate didn't use to give him CC immunity, which was absolutely horrible. His ult, he used to be able to straight up get stunned during his ult. What were they thinking? And I just remembered that while like scouting in the super old balance patch notes of the game. So yeah, like imagine playing current Thor and you get like Luna, and you get like Invis pushed out of Thor. Like, oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I thought I'd add that. Enjoy the video, guys. And the Awakening rune, like, not where it wouldn't go on cooldown if you left it. It was some bullshit like that. Anyway, the character was garbage. And then came Season 2.5, where the rework officially began. So, what the rework was is that they reworked Hammer Throw, his right click, to not be a part of the THOR'S GCD. So, it wasn't a part of THOR'S, so you didn't need the resource to use it. It didn't give you Overshield. Instead, it became an ability that gave you back THOR'S, like Lightning Round. And what that rework did, or the start of that rework did, was that the hero kind of lost his best brawl tool. Alright, so as I was saying, the hero kind of lost his best brawl tool, which was Hammer Throw, to instead have a much more Awakening Rune focused playstyle, which is a change I really liked at the time because I loved Awakening Rune. I hadn't played that much Thor, but I really liked Awakening Rune. But the change was horrible because although, like, right now when we think about it, like, current Hammer Throw is amazing because of the way it flows into Thor's kit. Back then it was terrible because it was horrible because you couldn't cancel Awakening. Canceling Awakening didn't give you back one Thor Force. Hammer Throw didn't give you shields, but like right now it does, which is crazy. But as of season 6.5, of course, but in season 6.0 it didn't. Anyway, that's just a recent tweak. But yeah, Hammer Throw's damage was reduced, so the spam Hammer Throw and point blank playstyle was officially dead. So all you had to do was legit just Awakening, and then when your Awakening runs out, you Hammer Throw M1 Awakening. Or you Lightning Realm M1 Awakening, and it's always up because Hammer Throw is on a 6-second cooldown, which is basically the duration of an entire Awakening rune anyway. So you had infinite Awakening uptime, so that was like really good if you wanted to damage farm. But yeah, but then there was a mid-season patch in Season 2.5 itself, where they kinda, like, I remember, was it they buffed Moon Knight to 275? How do I remember these patches by heart? I am in no life, by the way. Like and subscribe if I'm a darn geek. Yeah, they buffed Moon Knight to 275, they like nerfed, they increased the cost of Storm ult, and the Thor change was that they made it so that you could cancel Awakening Rune early whenever you want. Now that was a really good change, however it wasn't that good because when you cancel Awakening, well, you just didn't have any Thor Force. So you couldn't actually use a dash. You had to cancel Awakening, then bonk someone in the face to get a Thor Force, then surge back. And that stayed until the Season 3.5 patch. So yes, you had to go through Season 3.0 of Thor still being garbage, and then Season 3.5, where Thor, like, Season 3.5 is when I started playing Thor seriously, and that's the season where I started thinking, okay, this character might be a bit OP. Like in Season 3.5, I kid you not. In Season 3.5, they buffed Thor. They made it so that whenever you canceled Awakening Rune, I'll put like the actual balance patches on the screen, so it's obvious for you guys, right, what I'm talking about. So in Season 3.5, they made it so that canceling Awakening Rune early always gave you back one Thor Force. It was instantly you gained the Thor Force back. Back then, like, the Thor Force would go up when you used Awakening, but it was only because it was recovering over time. Now, it wouldn't recover over time, but whenever the Awakening ended, you instantly got one Thor Force guaranteed, regardless if you used the whole thing or if you popped in and instantly canceled. So that was really good. And they also made it so that Lightning Realm, his E, which is a bubble that restores Thor Force based on the amount of enemies that are inside it the moment you cast it, and also it slows and damages enemies that step out of it. Okay, a heavy slow, by the way, 30%, and 40 damage, which is really solid as well. And they gave that move a new status effect. Whenever you exit the bubble, you are now afflicted with grounded, which is a new status effect that makes it so that you cannot fly or use flying abilities, which is honestly one of the most underrated Thor buffs he has ever gotten. Because the grounded status effect, I remember when it first came out, a lot of people misunderstood and thought it was Earthbound, which was not it at all. Earthbound is canceling every mobility ability, which is OP. That's like Bucky Shift, Bucky Uppercut, and Think Shift. But Thor's bubble is grounded. Grounded prevents flying. So if you're flying in the air, you're knocked to the ground, and you cannot use flying abilities until the status effect goes away. So like by example, that made Thor an excellent counter to Phoenix by example, because you just dash up to Phoenix. If you're in domination, it's more effective. I'm pretty sure Jeremy even has a clip on his channel of him doing that to a Phoenix.
Wait, what grounded me? Is this guy's just solo ulting me?
Back in season 3.5, when the buff had just came out, I remember watching that video. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, you'd go up to a Phoenix, you'd use Lightning Round, and the Phoenix would walk out of it, and she'd take damage, slowed, and she couldn't fly. Couldn't use her flight, which was super broken at the time. And the good thing is that the Lightning Round procs, even if Phoenix blinks out of the bubble. Even if she teleports out of it, it still counts as if she walked out of it, so she couldn't fly anyway, which made Thor a really good counter to Phoenix. Okay? Plus, you know, you could always go up to like an Iron Man and use Lightning Round and he'd fly out of it because he panics and then he'd crash down to the floor. So yeah, really good buff. But, and the season 3.5 that made me realize, okay, Thor might be a bit OP, I'm not even gonna lie. He might, like, this character has insane potential. But, if only this character just had a better ult. And that is when the season 4.0 patch came out, where they hard buffed his ult. And I'm not kidding. What they did in the patch, they made it so that the ult, you move faster during it, and when you land, you now stun enemies for a second. I am not kidding when I say this. I started off season 4, legit, like, my heroes, Thor and Strange, two heroes that I absolutely loved, got hard buffed, and I was so happy. But the amount of the amount of Thor I played in season 4.0, and it was season 4.0. I remember I was playing quick match with friends one day, and I just dashed into the enemy team, lightning round, ulted, and I got a 6k. And I really realized, okay, Thor is genuinely OP. Like, I remember saying in season 4, before all of you creeps, all of you fakes, I knew in season 4.0, okay, Thor is actually OP as shit. Like, this character is OP. This character has high damage, good mobility, good sustain, like, insane brawler, insane at shutting off flankers, and he has a really good ult now. I was saying this in season 4. But then the seasons passed, and you know, Thor, he did okay. He was really good. I remember playing him in season 5.0 and still doing amazing with him. He did okay. People were saying, oh, he's bad. I always disagreed. I never understood why people said that. He was always good in my eyes. And then came the patch that officially made Thor meta. That made Thor the new cool kid, season 5.5, where they gave him the free turning ability, where he can turn for free in his Storm Surge. Now, that buff single-handedly made Thor kind of a niche character into this super meta OTP hero that is like played every game. Like, you guys, you weren't there like me. I've been there, bro. I played the hero before everybody said he was busted. And I stuck by it. I never said Thor is trash or Thor is... No, I said Thor is good. Thor is OP. In season 4, I was saying he's OP. In 5.5, the buff, you know, you can move freely in any direction. In Storm Surge, kind of like the zombies mode. So you could, that made him insanely more oppressive in the neutral, because I'd say the main weakness of Thor is that the neutral can be a bit awkward. Like, you don't know whether you should be damage farming in the front line, whether you should be flanking, whether you should be diving. Now with the Storm Surge upgrade, you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna go up to their tanks, while you wait for the fight to evolve into something more chaotic, which is where Thor as a bruiser, brawler, truly shines, because he can isolate targets and instantly one-shot them. while benefiting from his immense immense survivability, I mean to say. So until that stage of the fight happens where it turns into full brawl chaos, you can legit just sit main, surge tanks into like the mag or the strange into your team, and they can't do anything because your dash is only 2-second cooldown. So that made him 500 times more impressive in the neutral while upping his survivability like crazy, because let me remind you guys that dash is only 2-second cooldown and it gives him 75 overshield. Legit for pressing a button. And now he can dash freely during it so he can turn corners. Insane buff. Like the hero just got micro buffed and micro buffed and micro buffed and micro buffed. And you know, it's time for me to speak about the last micro buff that made the hero even better in season 6.5. And to be honest, I wasn't even sure when I read this change if it was a buff or a nerf, but then I actually got to play it and I was like, yeah, no, this is a buff. This is actually just a buff. They made it so that Storm Surge gives 50 less bonus health instead of 75. Not 50 less. 25 less, so from 75 to 50. So it gives 50 bonus health instead of 75. But Hammer Throw now gives 50 bonus health when it lands. The Hammer Throw used to not give bonus health since the Hammer Throw rework where it got removed from the THOR'S GCD, the THOR'S system. And now they made it so that Hammer Throw gives you bonus health anyway, 50. And something that a lot of people fail to understand is that the THOR'S GCD has a bonus health cap of 150. So Thor has 600 base HP, 150 above that, 750. But since the Hammer Throw 50 bonus health isn't part of the THOR'S GCD, well, it doesn't count. It isn't affected by the cap, by the 150 bonus health cap. So you can get up to 800 bonus health if you use Hammer Throw and then Awakening. So it's basically just Prime Thor. Season 1 Thor, pre-rework Thor. You can get up to 800 bonus health again. The only weakness that this change did was that Surge gives 25 less HP, which is honestly a nothing nerf. Because anyway, the only people that were affected by this nerf were the darn Metamancers that only started playing Thor to spam Storm Surge on tanks, like displacement, botting out like nerds. So that's a nerf for that playstyle, but otherwise it's absolutely a buff. Like as a duel, like Thor as like a duel character is way better now. Because you straight up surge into someone, 50 bonus health, then you do the Hammer Throw M1 combo, which is like basically using left click, right click at the same time. So surge, then left click, right click. I can't speak. Oh my god. Hold on. Surge into them, then left click, right click. You have a total of 100 bonus health. Then hammer swing again, and then you wait for the Awakening to go up because, you know, since you use surge, you still have to wait before using Awakening. It's like 2 seconds. Then you awaken, you have like 800 bonus health, you one-shot them, and boom. This is how Thor beats anybody in a duel. Surge them into a corner, Hammer Throw M1 stack, Awaken, boom, 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 dead. Like insta-dead. Insta-dead. And that is the last Thor change that he got as of Season 6.5, as of today. So he went from being a piss, garbage, useless character that does nothing, that is jank, to being the current hero he is now, which is a hero with combos, a hero with displacement, a hero that is fun, that is smooth to play, that is more impressive to play, more impressive to watch. I mean, if you guys want peak Thor, like if you guys just want to see the potential of this hero, watch Team Captain's gameplay when he was playing, was it the Deadpool tournament? I think it was, or was it? I'm not sure, but he was playing like a tournament. No, what am I saying? Not the Deadpool tournament, the 40k tournament. Yeah. Watch Team Captain's gameplay on the 40k tournament. This just shows how insane Thor is. Insane hero that got really done justice. And yeah, I just really wanted to make this video because a lot of people shit on the balance team. They shit on Xiong, they shit on bro this hero, bro that hero, but Iron Fist, but this, but that. But there have genuinely been heroes. There are heroes that were saved by the balance team that were terrible. People saw these heroes and were like, yeah, these heroes, hopeless. They are horrible. They will never be good. Oh, Thing will never be good. Thor will never be good. And still, right now, the balance team managed to cook with reworks. They managed to cook. And these heroes right now are absolutely amazing. They are meta. Learn Thor. Learn Thing. I mean, learn Thing. Learn how to hold right click, right? That's the hero, but learn these heroes. They are extremely strong, extremely fun. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I still have the old videos on my channel where I play Thor in like season 5 or in season 4. They're super old though. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. W Jiyoung for these changes, guys. Everybody hates on Jiyoung, but I wanna spread some positivity. Jiyoung will PayPal me 5,000 units after this video so I can buy myself some skins. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day.